What's going on, everybody?
What?
What are we doing here, Willie?
Blue pig, baby.
Something must have happened this week.
Got him a sweep. Texas come to Fayetteville and got that ass swept.
Horns down.
Hell yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the We'll See You Later podcast, episode 50.
Half a hundo. Congratulations, J Money.
Thank you. You're in here with me now, brother. We're doing this together. I am your host, Jeremy.
I am Sweep Master Willie Ray.
Sweep Master Willie Ray.
Let's go.
And we are brought to you by Happy's Energy and Nutrition, the best energy and nutrition on the planet. I know we have some guys out there and some gals out there that have been with us for a while. Maybe you just joined, and it's a great time to join because on episode 50, we are going to be giving away one of our favorite new sponsors, Foul Play Golf.
Ooh, model it for him, Jay.
I got it on the head right now. I got it. I'm wearing it right now.
So if
Right
you're a
now.
man or a woman with a curly mullet, you know what it looks like.
That's right.
And a mustache.
That's
Not
right, that's
judging.
That's right.
Not judging.
You shouldn't. I made TV twice this weekend. Foul Play Golf, where we break rules, not par. We are going to be giving this away to one of you lucky listeners. This is how you get it. You have to be subscribed to our YouTube channel, the We'll See You Later podcast on YouTube, and you have to comment what, Willie Ray?
You have to comment 50. 50. Either the number or the word, doesn't matter. 50 for episode 50.
And you are entered in. But
And we will draw at random,
next week.
and we will announce it on episode 51.
That's right. So go in there right now, comment 50, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and get your shot at winning this Bad A hat.
Bottom line is, if you watch our videos every week and you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, just click the button. And
It's free.
Just click the button. It's free, and it does help us out a bunch.
It does. Guys, it does. We want to get out there for more and more people, be able to do more giveaways, and take you guys with us everywhere we go. We want to hit the road soon as well. So I'm very excited for that. This is episode 50. And
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite co-host from the We'll See You Later podcast. This is Willie Ray. This episode of We'll See You Later was brought to you by our friends at Foul Play Golf. Founded by Arkansas native Grant Roberts, Foul Play Golf is a versioning apparel company meant for those of us who will never break 100 on the golf course. That's me, and don't be ashamed. I know it's you too. Above average apparel for the below average golfer. Jeremy and I have already placed orders. You can too by visiting their website at www.foulplaygolf.com. That's www.foulplaygolf.com. Foul Play Golf, where we break rules, not par.
the Hogs this weekend did not disappoint in any way, shape, or form.
No, did a little spring cleaning.
Hey, stop billing Willie Ray is them Diamond Hogs and this weekend.
Look, I got to give credit where credit's due, because if you go back and listen to episode 49, you said it guessingly, where if somebody wasn't paying attention, they might have missed it. But you said, you know what would be awesome is if we got a sweep this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of laughed it off. And here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, this was not just Arkansas winning 3 games against the University of Texas. This was Arkansas dismantling the number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns in 3 games, completely humbling a fan base that, if I may say so myself, needed it. These guys were 19-2 coming into this series. The biggest Kool-Aid drinking Arkansas fan in the world could not have predicted what happened this weekend.
No, not even close.
What we said needed to happen on last week's show, we were pretty adamant about the starting pitching had to be better. They got the memo.
Zach Root.
Zach Root was just voted SEC Pitcher of the Week. That happened today before we came on. 8 innings in game 1, 11 strikeouts, no runs. 8 innings and 11 strikeouts, both career highs. Almost 2 years. That's the deepest an Arkansas starter has gone in the game. It's crazy to think Hagen Smith never went that deep.
Yeah. And probably could have went 9.
And absolutely could have went 9, but set the tone, as we were talking about, for the entire weekend, because pitching was not going to be an issue for the rest of the weekend as far as depth, because they got Friday night off.
Right.
Will McIntyre in mop-up duty looked fine on Friday. Had a fresh bullpen, man. It paid dividends throughout the whole week.
Yeah.
Because Arkansas wins 9-0 on Thursday for game 1.
Zach Root.
Zach Root was the story. Was nails from pitch 1.
Yeah. Did you hear what he said post game? And I loved it. They asked him, you hadn't been doing great. And, He said, well, Coach Hobbs sat me down and said that the fans don't come pay their good money to watch me go 4 innings. You could feel the energy in the stadium before, like pregame. You could feel it.
He set the tone. He sent a clear message on Thursday that had the better team wears red this week.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't even close.
So game 2, Arkansas wins what, 6-1?
6-1
was the final. And
I was there.
It never felt that close. Arkansas left a small village of base runners on the base pass.
Yes.
Arkansas could have run ruled both these first 2 games, which is nuts. This is the number 1 team in the country that won 19 out of 21 conference games.
And what they hung their hat on was pitching.
Buddy,
like, that's what they hung their hat on.
If this weekend taught you anything, when those boys in red are swinging it, can't nobody do anything with them.
No, that's one of the best pitching staffs, top to bottom.
The number
Texas.
1 ERA in the conference.
Anymore.
Ranked third best ERA in the country. Took a hit.
9-0, 6-1. Gage Wood.
Gage Wood, man. Okay, so
chirping.
we're all waiting with bated breath until the pitch count gets taken off of Gage Wood, because there is absolutely nothing wrong with this kid.
Yeah, they gave him what, 60 this time?
Yeah, there is absolutely nothing wrong with this kid. And let me tell you something. If Gage Wood played for anyone else,
I'd hate him.
I would hate his guts. Everything he does could incite one of his guys getting hit. It really could. All the chirping and the skipping around and strutting around the mound after every out seems like. But because he's a hog, we love it.
I love it. I'm telling you right now. So where we sat, I was 5 feet from the foul pole. The bullpen's right underneath us, and they're warming up down there. And before the game, Gage Wood, I swear to God, he has, I don't know how much this medicine ball weighs. He is throwing it from ground to overhead as high as he can. He does like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I saw a special where Root was doing that. It's nuts.
I could have caught it. He threw it so high. It was at the top of the foul pole. That's how high he's throwing this.
So what you're saying is old boy's pretty strong.
It was unreal. I was like, we can play catch with a medicine ball, and he's 2 stories below us.
Yeah, this is what happens. This is what arms that throw 100 miles an hour. Like,
it was insane to see.
Now, I have a question, though, because I've seen Gage Wood pitch for going on 3 years now. I didn't know. I have no recollection of him having that nasty curveball. Where did that come from?
I don't know, but it was nasty.
It's a jackhammer, dude. It's an out pitch. Like, it's not just an extra pitch; it's an out pitch. Yeah. It's as good as his fastball,
brother. It was. We've been to was it a regional, super regional?
Super to go to Omaha.
So we were there for that. It was electric, but bro, I've never, especially where we were sitting, dude, it was like the coolest seat in the house. I've never felt energy like that. Like, you could hear every bit of this rivalry coming back to life.
Well, and it helps that the reason you were in the house this weekend was because of Uncle Ray.
Yes.
Ray Harris, former pitcher for the Arkansas Razorbacks, is Jeremy's uncle. He was on the 1985 team that made it to the College World Series. They were honoring the 1985 team for the 40-year anniversary this weekend, and it's no coincidence that it ends up being on Texas Week.
Yes, that was on purpose.
But then you have them in the house, and it ends up being not just Texas Week, but Texas is ranked number 1, and then you sweep them. This atmosphere had to be unbelievable. Must have been nice to be there.
It was really cool.
I'm ass hurt about this, y'all. I'm like, I thought we were close.
No, see, the tickets were given to me before Willie Ray was our co-host.
Not before I was your so-called best friend.
That's true. I just didn't have enough. I didn't have enough tickets.
I love you. I hate you.
I didn't have enough. Now, here's the good news. You ready for this, possibly? There's another team that my Uncle Ray was on, the 1987 team, who made it to the World Series.
Oh, okay.
You'll 2 years' time.
I got to stay put for 2 years.
In 2 years' time, we might be doing another 40-year reunion.
Okay. That's really smooth. Nice.
Just saying. 2 years.
Back to the series that I wasn't invited to. So game 2 on Friday. We got to talk about something. And fair warning, I'm going to get heated because I hate bad baseball. I hate stupid stuff. And it happened to Texas, so it shouldn't bother me. But I'm addicted to reasoning. I'm addicted to explanations. Why did this happen? And so when something happens and there is no explanation for it, it drives me crazy. This kind of went semi-viral.
Yeah.
So Texas has a runner on first and second with 1 out. All fouled, 20 feet foul
Yeah.
up the first baseline in between home and first base. 45 feet up the first baseline, maybe.
About halfway, yeah. Ryder
Yeah.
got there.
Ryder Helfrich catches the ball, routine pop up. Then he looks up and sees that the runner on first base is all the way to second base, and he has in turn spooked the runner that's on second base, and the runner on second base is taken all the way over to third. They double him off and end the inning. The explanation given was clearly that Texas forgot how many outs there were and just took off, thought there were 2 outs instead of 1.
Right.
Guys, that's not the story here. That's not the story here, because the number of outs in this situation are really not important. This ball was 20 feet foul. Even if there were 2 outs, if the ball lands and it's a foul ball, you go back to the bag anyway. So Jeremy, give me a reason why this guy takes off running. Whether there's 1 out, 2 outs, no outs. Where are you going?
2 outs. He had, I can't give him an excuse.
Yeah, the
he
ball-
had to think there was 2 outs.
He had clearly they thought there was 2 outs.
And I get why he shouldn't run. But instinctual, you just jog the bases. I don't know why you do that. I don't know
Clearly-
why that's a lot of baseball players. We've always just done that. But it makes no sense, but we've always done it.
Clearly, they thought there were 2 outs. But even if there was no reason to leave the bag. No reason. You stand on the bag and you go, boy, I hope he drops it.
It's been
There's
planted in our brains since we were kids that if it hits his glove and shoots somehow fair, like the weird that'll never happen. And so you don't want to be caught there. So you'd rather.
Well, this is a situation
Run it
where
out.
if that's the case, we need to stop teaching that.
Yeah, I really do think that's what I've been told 100 times.
You run no matter what.
Run
But the
2 outs,
But
you're
the
running.
difference is this isn't Pee Wee.
Right. No,
You're not-
I'm with you. I just think that's the only explanation I got.
You're not teaching a kid to hustle no matter what. This isn't Pee Wee. It's high level Division I college baseball. There's no reason to leave the bag right there.
Yeah, I'm with you.
No reason
That's all
to
I
leave the
got.
bag. It's the dumbest thing. Like it's the dumbest mistake I've ever seen, and I doubt that I'll ever see anything dumber.
No,
I doubt
it could have
that
been a triple play for sure.
I'll doubt that I ever see anything dumber. And if you want proof of how bad this was, Jim Sloshnagel's reaction on the TV. Did you see it?
No.
So like you were there, so you didn't see when they went
Where we were sitting, the TV was on the scoreboard. We couldn't see the scoreboard, so we couldn't see what was going on.
You didn't see when they went.
They cut to him.
They went to the camera and cut into the dugout. Sloshnagle had stepped off of the top step of the dugout and was pacing up and down the dugout immediately. And when we came back from commercial, we figured out what he was doing. He literally immediately went up and down the dugout to find the guys to replace the 2 guys that got doubled off.
Mm-hmm.
And we're basically telling them, get a glove, you're going in.
Yeah.
Like, very rarely do you see something happen in game that is so bad and so inexcusable that you have to come out. Not just because the coach is punishing you as much as it is you don't want to send these guys out to play defense in front of a hostile crowd now after they just made a mistake like that.
The crowd was going nuts.
Yeah, you were in the stands. These guys would have gotten eviscerated. But like, I think one of them was an outfielder. You going to go back out to the outfield?
I'm going to tell you this. I lost my voice after this play because I was screaming and laughing of what happened. What happened? Like yelling at the right fielder. 43, what did you do? Like we're just screaming at them. It was chaos. And then after this, like we're ramped now. We are fired up beyond belief. The team's losing their mind as well. You can tell they're into it. Is when the controversial check swing strikeout with the catcher number 10, who's like their best player, by the way, like batting
and
average.
their biggest douchebag, but
Yes.
that's neither here nor
But they
there.
said that he was like their big dog, batting average, best guy. When they did the controversial, we're in the outfield. Everything looks like a swing, or like you just have to.
I'm here to tell you, he didn't swing.
It was
He
a
did
check
not-
swing
He did
strikeout.
not swing. That was an awful call.
The check swing strikeout, and he turned and said something. And from right field, I heard people behind the plate, sit the F down, throw him out of the. I mean, they were booing beyond belief, screaming beyond belief. I thought we were about to have a fight.
Right. And
Over
stand
11,000
there
people.
and stand there and take what they're inevitably going to take if they stay in the game. Their teammates took it for them, but it would have been way worse had they gone back out there. Kids, if your coach tells you to run with 2 outs no matter what, tell him Uncle Will said kiss your ass, because that's how you end up on ESPN for like a not top 10
It was
type
bad.
play. Like,
And they were doing pretty well in
if
that
it's
inning.
20 feet foul, stay on the bag, because then I'm going to watch and I'm going to go, what are you doing? And you're going to cause me to lose sleep wondering. I mean, I honestly, like, it turned my brain into a pretzel.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Anyway, Tuck Texas.
That's right. That's right. On Saturday, it was both nights Ribby did this. I love Ribby. Ribby,
the Arkansas Razorback baseball specific mascot.
Yes, he comes out with the giant Ribby flag. It's the baseball hog, and he runs to center field, waves it. He runs to the hog pen, waves it. Both nights, and it was the last game, the finish, the sweep that really got him. He ran, and they're huddled around third base. We're huddled in right field. He runs in between third and the fans. So he's 15 feet from Texas. And he just starts waving that flag, and the crowd starts losing their mind. Texas players went over to Ribby and were yelling at Ribby, pointing at the crowd. The crowd was fighting back. The coaches had to shove him down the line, like, get out of here. It was awesome.
When does it feel tough to pick a fight with a mascot?
And I'll say this, Ribby never stopped waving that flag.
No, because what are you going to do? You're going to punch a mascot? You can't do that.
It was insane. The coolest thing I had seen.
Okay, so Game 3 was an old school Game 3 where pitching may not be the best.
Yeah.
But we're just going to outslug everybody. Texas scored 9 runs on the weekend. They scored 8 in Game 3.
Mm.
So it was not evenly met. They scored next to nothing the first 2 games.
Yeah.
So when you see a 28-9 or whatever the final score was, just remember that 8 of those came in the last game.
Yeah.
Arkansas came back from a deficit 2 or 3 times where Texas had bounced back and taken the lead, and then Arkansas. It felt like walk homer is what it felt like. In Game 3, literally felt like you're taking a walk homer. Like it either felt like they're putting somebody on via a free pass, and then all of a sudden the next guy hits it out.
Yeah.
That's Arkansas hit 5 home runs total. The 2 that we need to talk about. How about Reese
Robinette?
We've been singing his praises for the last couple of weeks with Logan Maxwell going down and Cam Kojal needing to play second because of the absence of Nolan Souza. It made the most sense to us. Look, put Reese Robinette over there and just kind of live with his offense because he'll make you better defensively.
Yeah. He's a target.
He's a first baseman that looks like a first baseman as opposed to, bless their hearts, Cam Kojal.
Do you hear that Rocco is the spark plug of the dugout, though?
That's great. You can stay there.
I hear he's.
If you're a spark plug in the dugout, that's great. You can stay in there.
Yeah.
Spark it all up. Just don't go out there.
For those people, what's a quick summary of Reese Robinette's career? For some people who might not know who he is and why we're singing so much praise for him.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing. He's been here for the better part of 2 years and change and has just been a good teammate and waited his turn. Last year going into the offseason, I think Dave Van Horn actually said they told him, if you leave, we don't blame you.
Right.
We want you here. But in the day of the transfer portal, this kid has stayed put and stayed ready. He got a couple starts at the beginning of the year and things didn't go well offensively. And at first base, let's face it, you got to hit. In particular, at the beginning of the year when we didn't know what we had offensively. Now, if he goes 1 for 4, you can just stick him at the bottom of the lineup and the guys around him will take care of it. But you're in a situation now where he has to play first. So it's worked out where he got his opportunity. That dude had 1 SEC at bat coming into this weekend. 1.
Only 22 total.
Oh, yeah. Game 3, he hits a bomb to tie it. That's already. I mean, I think I texted you and said, man, what a cool moment.
Off the scoreboard.
I said, man, what a cool moment. Good for him.
Well, it's crazy is my uncle's with us, right?
Yeah.
And he's walking around talking to everybody. And when it happens, he loses his mind. And he's like, who was it? Who was it? And I yelled out Robinette. And he goes, no way. Like, people were more excited that it was him than it was like the actual time.
It was, I don't know if you've seen the TV broadcast, but when he hit it, Brett Dolan, who does an amazing job calling Arkansas games. We listen to all these other, no disrespect to anybody, but we listen to all these other announced teams for the SEC schools when we go on the road. And it makes you realize just how good Brett Dolan is and how lucky we are to have him. So Brett Dolan, his first home run in nearly 2 years. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
You haven't hit a home run in nearly 2 years and you get a spot and you finally get your opportunity, not against anybody.
Against the number 1 team in the country. Down 2.
Right. And we go Yakko off the scoreboard.
It was insane.
And so that's already probably the coolest moment of the year. But wait, there's more. Later in the game, Reese Robb just decides he's going to hit one over the scoreboard.
Yeah, it was insane.
If you put a side by side, I remember one home run in particular. 19, Arkansas was playing Ole Miss in game 3 of the Super Regionals. They ran Ole Miss out of the ballpark that day. But the highlight was probably Heston Kjerstad. He hit one up over the bullpen and it went high. It probably would have made it out into the parking lot of one of those businesses out there. He hit it a long
Foghorns.
way. Yeah, he hit it a long way. And then you've got Robinette, big left-handed, blonde-headed kid, wearing number 18, just like Kjerstad, sticks the follow through, watching it. If you put a side-by-side of those two,
identical.
It's identical. It really is. But that's what Brett, it's funny you said Foghorns. Brett Dolan said Arkansas takes the lead again on a 2-run shot to Foghorns.
That's exactly what was behind us.
That's exactly what he said. And Foghorns, a wing joint in Fayetteville, right across from, you're behind the outfield wall. I think it measured at like 440.
The coolest thing was to see the team lose their mind, not just for the home run, but for the guy who
hit it. Yeah.
It was so cool. He was taking full advantage of this opportunity.
Right. And like you said, the team's losing it. Nate Thompson was having a baby in the dugout, like losing his ever-loving mind. I think he air humped at one point. I do. That's the coolest moment of the weekend for me. Obviously, you guys made TV on the Davalon home run that went up over the
went over us.
Yeah, went up over the Hunt Center.
Yeah, you could just see. I was like, well, it's gone. Like, it's over. And it cleared the Hunt Center.
Yeah.
So there's a parking lot behind that where some of the coaches have to park. He might have hit their car.
So Arkansas broke out the whooping sticks on game 3. It was we're going to emphatically send you out of here.
Yeah.
We will talk about the fact that Texas went up 3-0 early, hit a 3-run home run into the hog pen, and they were feeling themselves. And then about 10 minutes later, Cahill Alois has settled down now.
Yeah.
Guys, if this entire episode is us just talking about how great this baseball team is, you're just going to have to deal with it because we're walking around with our chest out this week.
Very much so. Yeah, we also made TV on the double from Cahill in the second game.
Yeah, I know. You want to know why? Because I was at home watching it on TV.
Were you expecting to see us?
So I saw all of my friends, supposed friends, get you some better friends than me.
No.
Supposed friends. Everybody just having a good old time. Nobody thought Will might want to be there.
For those who don't know, we got tickets because of the 85 team. And whenever I was presented this and we got these tickets, Jordan was my host. Jordan was moving. I was like, this would be great. Jordan's never been to a game. And of course, like we have a set.
Let me be clear that I agree with that.
Like
that's exactly what should have happened.
And so whenever it's family, and then we look at Amanda is like my sister, and Destiny and Justin, she's never even been to a game.
She understood the assignment.
And then she was horned down
every picture I got, she was my favorite because every picture she made a point. It was horns down in every photo. So Destiny, if you're watching, baby sister, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
So his family, Jordan and Andrea, first timers, they had a blast, by the way. Like they enjoyed the moment. They had jerseyed out. It was their first ever game, dancing. I mean, it was a party. 2 years from now, Willie Ray, if they're doing it again.
I'm glad to know that I'm like the 9th alternate.
That's not true.
Can you tell that I'm having a lot of fun making him feel good?
Look, I'm going to hear this for forever.
Well, yeah. I had a conversation with my wife today about how I was going to hijack this thing and make you feel bad over this.
But we did not know that like 10 feet from us was the camera, like a side camera. I mean, you could see it, but I never paid attention to it.
Bro, you paid attention to it when you figured out what it was.
Well, no.
Every time y'all ended up on TV, your ass was looking right at it.
No, the guy beside us. So it was weird. It's just such a small world. And so they're sitting there and we were sitting outside with them, talking with them while we were waiting in line. And they know my family. Like they know Lauren and Zach. They went to school together, which is weird.
Was this like the people that I saw standing up and high-fiving and all that?
They're the ones in the beer hats right beside me.
Yeah, okay.
So the beer hat guy, Cahill hits the double. I'm losing my mind. As soon as he hit it, I'm yelling, yak, Yahtzee. I'm screaming because I know that ball is sizzling. And I'm standing up screaming kind of before the group understands what's happening. Like as soon as you hear the ting and you see how fast he swings, that ball's a shot.
Yeah.
I'm yelling hits the wall, and I'm sitting there doing the circling the wagons, and everybody then gets up and starts screaming, but they're laughing. I can hear them laughing. And those two, I hear him yell out, Jeremy, and you can see him looking at me, and he points at the camera. So when he points at the camera, I am now fully facing the camera, not knowing that that's what I was turning for. I was like about to high five the dude.
Okay, so
when I turn and look,
I'm gonna dime you out though, because you figured it out. Because on the Davalon home run, when you guys made TV, you're clapping and looking directly into the camera.
Well, that's because Mr. Skillern here is gotten up and is high-fiving all of us. That is Carrie's dad here running down the line of Jordan, Andrea, Carrie, me, and Amanda.
I got such a big kick out of that because I knew that was Kenneth, and so I fell out laughing.
So I'm turning, I start clapping, and then I see him get up, and here I'm just in line, and I high-five him. Now, I wish the first night when they caught us, when I'm looking at the camera, I pointed the camera, and then I go, bow, with the horns down, and it cut it off.
Yeah.
It cut off before I pointed.
Hey, that hat you had on was killer, though.
The Houston Nut one?
That was killer.
With summer just around the corner, I'm sure you have some health and nutrition goals. Let us here at Happy's Energy and Nutrition meet those goals with you. We do protein shakes at 200 calories, 24 grams of protein, 9 grams of sugar, and they taste like ice cream, so you're cheating without cheating. We also do energy drinks. You see me drinking them every single day on the podcast, loaded with B vitamins, some caffeine, and we use aloe, no sugars. It is absolutely delicious. They are a great meal replacement, energy replacement supplement for you. Come visit us at 11321 West Markham, Suite 1, right next to Wingstop in Little Rock. We're open 7 to 2 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 on Saturdays. That's Happy's Energy and Nutrition on West Markham.
Yeah. Okay. I got to tell a quick story. Bro, this is the craziest, coolest thing. So that night was a luau party for that area, and they were going to do a $150 giveaway to the shop for dressing up. So I had a shirt. I had on these short, like swim trunk shorts. I had on these $12 sandals I got at Walmart, high socks.
Which anybody that knows Jeremy Wilson would not even bat an eye, because that's like something he would wear on this podcast. Like, the dude dresses wild.
I'm in jorts right now.
The dude dresses wild.
But I am looking for the Houston Nut wicker hat.
Right, the straw one, yeah.
The straw hat. I call everybody. They all got cowboy hats. I was like, I don't want a cowboy hat. I want the round one. I call the Stadium Shop, which is right on Razorback Road. It's a half a mile down the road, quarter mile down the road from the stadium.
Yeah, we've been there a bunch.
Been there a million times.
And if you haven't, go.
I love the Stadium Shop. It's one of my favorite shops. So I called the Stadium Shop and asked them what I'm looking for. My mom is a massive right now, like this season, the Alloy Brothers, obviously. Like, that's her thing.
I mean, who isn't? But like, when I say I know this woman, like I'm her son, when she adopts players, it's a big deal. Like,
yes,
she's
all out.
She will keep up with these kids forever.
She will. So I tell my uncle, hey, I've got mom her Vahiva Lloyd jersey. She's wearing a Low Hogs shirt that has Souza and him on it from last year. Die Hard. We got to find a way to get her a picture with these guys, maybe get an autograph, something. She'll lose her mind. He's like, let's go for it. We pull into the Stadium Shop right off the exit. We're going to the Airbnb after that. We're coming back to the stadium to see if we can accomplish this goal. We have been inside the Stadium Shop for 3 minutes, Will. 3 minutes. I have taken a piss. I have found my straw hat, and I found a Razorback Hawaiian shirt, a Razorback.
Yeah, that thing was sweet.
I love that thing. I found that. That's my shirt for the evening. My mom is at the clearance rack. I am going over to my mom to talk to her, and I turn around, and I see the blonde streak of hair walk past us, and I'm like, I know that dude. That's Vahiva Alloy.
This story makes me so happy.
3 minutes in Fayetteville. I said, that's Alloy. And then I see Kahio walk right past him too. And then their dad comes in, and I go, Mom, they're here. And she goes, who's here? And I go, the Alloy Brothers. She looked like a 9-year-old at Chuck E. Cheese. She walks over. My mom is 62 years old and says,
this is so great.
My mom is 62 years old and says, Mr. Alloy. And I'm thinking she's talking to the dad. She walks right up to Vahiva. Mr. Alloy, will you make this grandmother's day?
Oh, that's so sweet.
And I said, what is she about to do? And he says, yes, ma'am. What can I do? And she's wearing his jersey, the Island jersey. She goes, This is her line. I loved it. She said, tomorrow I'm here. My brother was on the 85 team. He's walking across the field. I'm here for him tomorrow. Tonight, I came here to watch you two boys beat Texas ass.
Let's go.
And she said, can I please get a picture and an autograph? And he said, how can I say no to that? And they were cheesing the whole time. Him and his brother were just smiling. He signs her jersey. The funny, she goes,
Jeremy knew, like, I got to call Will. I got to tell him exactly what happened.
it was incredible.
And I'm crying as he's telling, like, I'm openly weeping as he's telling me. Like, it made me so happy.
It was awesome. She asked Kahio, she goes, I call you little big brother because you're bigger than him. And he starts laughing. They're looking back and forth. And she goes, is any of your stuff here that I can buy? Because I don't have your jersey yet. And he said, no, ma'am, they don't sell it here. So she goes and grabs a hat off the wall. No, she ain't pay for it yet. And says, can you please sign this hat? He starts laughing. He goes, you going to pay for it? And she goes, oh, yeah. He signs the hat, gives her the hat. They take pictures together. She goes up to his dad and says, you have raised great young men. He said, thank you so much. And then they were gone. Like, they were gone.
So think about if you guys had, like, stopped
anywhere.
Like, if you guys had stopped for 5 minutes
or if
somewhere,
we had just went to the Airbnb and I would have came got it later.
yeah, they wouldn't have been there.
It wouldn't have happened. Everything lined up perfectly. And to make it even better, no one else was in the store. So
Yeah,
when we
so-
asked the question, it wasn't like everybody bombarded and we had to feel
So
terrible.
she was able to,
Yeah.
quote unquote, I mean, for lack of a better term, she was able to fangirl out.
Then we go to the Airbnb, we get back to the stadium, and my mom, we're right on the Dave Van Horn Hog, waiting. We're taking pictures. My mom is now fully embraced her inner child
Right,
now,
and
which is the
she's-
absolute best thing I've
And
ever seen.
she's like in charge now. So
She is. She's got her confidence.
Yeah.
And so she's got, I'm not kidding, 14 lays on her throat where you can just see her nose. There's colors everywhere. So she's handing them out to our whole little group right here, just handing them. Then we're taking her picture in front of the big A. She's so pumped. She's doing the thing. A player walks by, and I'm out in the street calling Jordan over like he can see where I'm at. I look over, my mom's taking a picture from somebody. I walk by, he's leaving, so I fist bump him. Good luck tonight. I go, Ma, what just happened? She goes, well, I told him to stop. She was taking a picture. She says, stop. And he stops right in his tracks. She goes, can we take a picture together? And he said, yes, ma'am. It was Brent Iredale. And she didn't even know. I said, there's Ozzy. And she goes, no shit. Then she doesn't know what these people look like.
I love that he just stopped.
He did. It was literally like she goes, stop. Like she was like,
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
ruin my picture.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
He said, yes, ma'am. Then, unbelievable. Here comes Ryder Helfrich. My mom knows these guys, but doesn't know these guys. Without their number on the back and name, she doesn't recognize you. Here comes Ryder Helfrich out of the little batting complex. I have to tell my mom. I was like, Mom, that's Ryder Helfrich. She goes, Mr. Helfrich.
These kids are 20 years old.
And he goes, yes. They all were so, yes, ma'am. She goes, I'm getting a picture with as many hogs as I can. She goes, at least the good ones, huh? And he goes, oh, then we got to get one. And then they take one together. So then they take one together. And then here comes your favorite, Rocco Pepe.
Even a picture with Tammy Wilson could not inspire him enough to get a hit or two.
My mom goes, Mr. Pepe, can we please get a picture?
Mr. Pepe.
And he's just cheesing with his arm around her. But it was great. And then we got to the seats. It was even better. My mom, I got pictures of her, man, that I get emotional. It's a baseball game.
Yeah,
But it's so beautiful.
Those memories will last forever, man.
It's so beautiful.
And that's the thing is, like, somebody who tries to tell me that sports don't matter, you've never had moments like that.
Seeing my mom, bro, I got a picture that I just took of her, and she just had this with her little Aloy picture sitting in her seat. And it was like I was the proud parent taking a picture.
Well, yeah.
And
then
she was so happy.
it was really special.
It was awesome. And it's a memory that I'll hold on for forever.
So to the Razorback baseball team, of course, to the coaches, to the staff at Baum-Walker Stadium, to everybody who had anything to do with putting this weekend on. It was first class all the way around.
Yeah.
To Coach Norm DeBryan and everybody that came back to come see, to reunite for the 85 reunion, and to the 3 or 4 players that they honored that are no longer with us. This should be a testament, and I hope that the kids on this year's team made a point to pay attention to the fact that this is 40 years ago, and we still stop and say thank you. It's a really I think Dave Van Horn was quoted as saying, look, this is 2025. So if you guys have a 40-year reunion, I'll be 105 when it comes around. So you guys enjoy yourself if that happens, because I won't be here.
I'll say this too. Cam Kojal, class act.
Well-raised young man.
When they are introducing the 85 team, he had Norm DeBryan bless his glove and his bat.
Yeah. Who doesn't? How awesome is that?
Right. So
for those of you guys that don't know, Norm DeBryan was the coach here for almost 40 years before Dave Van Horn took over.
Yeah.
He's also a deacon at the Catholic Church on campus at the University of Arkansas. So Cam Kojal actually said that every year before the season starts, he would have his bat and his glove blessed. Well, when he became a member of the parish on campus, Coach Bryan sought him out because he knew he was a baseball transfer. Kojal actually reached out to Coach Bryan about blessing his bat and his glove, and they did it in the locker room
in front of everybody.
Oh, what a special moment. What a special kid.
Not only that, while they're doing the 85 recognition, they're sprinting in the outfield. One Cam Kojal stops the sprint and walks towards them, stands there, and is just clapping. I have it on video. He clapped for every one of them.
So let me just go on record as saying there's less than zero chance they see this. But if the parents of Cam Kojal see this, thank you for the young man that you've raised.
Not only did that happen, Will, both days. We're walking. Have you been in the center before?
Yeah.
As you climb those stairs at the very top, there's a little restaurant. And that was our whole area. Was that restaurant outside and that outdoor area?
The balcony type.
Yeah. As you're walking up those stairs, both days, first chair, back facing the stairs, Cam Kojal, headphones on, reading his Bible, writing in his notes, both nights.
Yeah, he said it before and you know what he's listening to on there? Monk chants, like the spiritual, like monk chants. He's a really interesting kid. There's video of he took Bo Mattingly fishing out in Lake Norm behind the scoreboard, and he's like named. There's like a couple of geese that hang out there, and the mama geese has like six eggs that she's sitting on, so she's very
protective.
She's protective, yeah. But he's named her. It's Gabby the goose. Yeah, he's an interesting kid. Said he goes out there every day. If it's not raining, he'll go out there every day and fish. He knows the spots where like the bluegill will bite and everything else. But then the great thing was Bo Mattingly asked, like, if you come out here to clear your head, like, what do you think about while you're out here? He said, man, I just think I'm going to hit about 3 lasers today. And here's the thing. I think that just about every member of this team would be that likable if somebody put a microphone in front of them. It's really easy to pull for these kids because they compete like hell, but they're not jackasses.
Yeah.
They're good kids.
Yeah. So I have to apologize to Willie for not being there.
I'm just playing
It was incredible, though. It was probably the most fun weekend I've ever experienced, especially with my mom. 2 years from now, we're going to try it again. If Ray will have us.
If I'm cool enough.
Did that last hailstorm damage your vehicle? Don't stress no more. Our friends at Finished Dentless Hail Repairs got you covered. Up to $500 off your deductible. Give them a call at 501-422-4161. That is Finished Dentless Hail Repair out of Little Rock. And let them know that the We'll See You Later podcast sent you.
The ranking for this week came out before we got on here.
It sure did.
Very interesting that you can lose 3 games, get ramrodded for 3 games, and not drop out of the number 1 spot. D1 baseball, come on now.
Rankings do drop out, guys, and we'll let you look at them here.
I know everybody around them played like crap, and so like you had to drop Clemson down instead of moving them up. You couldn't move LSU up. They lost 2 out of 3 to A&M. I get that, but there has to be some kind of punishment for getting embarrassed the way that Texas got embarrassed.
Yeah, Florida State should have hopped into 1.
Florida State should have taken the number 1 spot. Maybe North Carolina. You have to set a you can't get beat like that.
So
and not drop down.
Current top 25 after the sweep, Texas does stay at number 1. Florida State hops to 2. LSU drops to 3. North Carolina 4. Oregon 5. Georgia 6. Arkansas moves up to 7. Auburn 8. Clemson falls to 9. Oregon State is 10. SEC in the top 25. 11 Vanderbilt. 15 Tennessee. 17 Oklahoma. Ole Miss is at 24. Bama's at 23.
So let's be clear. If Texas drops 1 spot to 2, I'm good. They just can't stay in the same spot. You can't tell me that there's no punishment for getting beat like they did this week.
there wasn't.
You
I'll say this, if we're going to talk about it too. Arkansas's first team to 40. First team in the country here.
rankings don't mean anything if you ask anybody that's got any sense right now. So I know that it was a big topic of conversation that Arkansas had this big 3-series stretch to end the season where it was Texas, LSU, and Tennessee. At this point, we should not be nervous about playing anybody.
Not at all.
What should make people nervous is if you're LSU that you got those bullies from Fayetteville coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee's kind of falling back into that top 15 category, and they're on the fringe of maybe hosting, maybe not, and they got to come to Fayetteville, where there's no way you can chalk up 2 wins.
Yeah.
It's time for a mindset shift with this fan base that we're not little old Arkansas.
No.
We are the bad boys on the block, and it's time we start acting like it. Because I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care what the rankings say. If you have watched college baseball in 2025, to the extent that I have, to the extent that Jeremy has, we're not those fans that just watch Arkansas games and then turn it off.
No.
If big baseball's happening, we're on it. I've watched all these teams play. In 2025, the best team in America is in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Yes, 100%.
That's the most balanced team in the country. This is your best shot, I guess, since 2018 to win the whole thing.
100%. So just because we're ranked 7th does not mean that's where we'll end up, by the way.
It surely is not where they'll end up.
It is not where we should end up. So right now, they have released a projection, like where we're at currently. So we are 7th overall in the country, which makes no sense. It has to be that way. We can't jump from 11 to 2. Like, they just won't do that. They won't reward us.
Not after losing 3 SEC series.
Right. But we are the first team to 40. We're the only team in the country with 40 wins.
What does that say when you lose 3 SEC series in a row and you're still the first team to 40? That says that you were absolutely rickrolling people before you had that little 3-series stretch.
So the projections have us, Texas is still 1, Arkansas is 2. They say that's interchangeable depending on who you're talking to now because Arkansas just swept. But they have us at the 2, I think just because they had us at like 5 or 6 going into the weekend, so they just bumped us to 2. So that would mean we're playing the 15 as of right now, and we love them right now. UC Irvine.
Let's do it. You mean to tell me we got to beat UC Irvine twice to get to Omaha, or maybe a 2 seed that comes out of there?
Yeah,
we'll move up to number 2 if they find a way to win both these series that they have left.
Yeah,
they'll be at 2 no lower than 3.
Or so D1, we'll move up to 3 or 4 especially if we beat an LSU. We'll probably swap with them. Like,
yeah,
we would swap with them. LSU is number 3 right now. We'd hop up there.
At this point, you should not feel intimidated by anything.
No,
because LSU has one of the best pitching staffs in the country. Guess who said that? Texas said that last week. They got 30 hung on them in 3 games.
Yeah.
Now it's different.
It's on the road
that you're going from playing at Baum-Walker to playing at Alex Box Stadium, which for my money, I don't care what anybody says, for my money is the best home field advantage in the country.
Why do you say that?
Why do I say that?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
Because the 2 biggest blue bloods in college baseball are Texas and LSU. Alex Box has been a thing for years, man.
Yeah.
Skip Bertman in the 90s, they were unbeatable.
Yeah.
And it's always been that way. Historically, their blue blood sport is baseball. You shouldn't go to Alex Box expecting to win that series. As fans, you should understand that it's a big undertaking to take on a good LSU team at their place and try to win the series. So if they do, it's a really big deal, and you need to take into account what this boy's been telling y'all. The best team in the country is in Fayetteville by a wide margin. It's going to crush me if this team does not win a national championship.
Yeah.
Like whether they win the championship or they get eliminated, the end of the season podcast for us is going to be must see for you guys, because you're either going to see me like naked on screen, like running around like a crazy person, or just like I might drink on air if they lose. Because I'm just so bullish about this team.
Yeah. So,
I want these guys to be remembered forever because this team has been so much fun.
This team's been incredible to watch.
I think Arkansas will find a sweet spot somewhere 2 through 4 by the end of the season.
You think Texas stays 1?
Or I don't know. They've got Florida's coming to Austin. and then they've got Oklahoma after that. I don't know if that's on the road or in Austin. I will say Texas is not one of these teams that can beat you anywhere. Arkansas is one of these teams that can beat you on the road or at home. Texas is built for their home ballpark.
Yeah.
It's a
I think A&M is more anywhere place kind of guy. They can go wherever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Texas they're built for their home ballpark, and if you play them in Austin, it's a different animal than playing them somewhere else. I think A&M's a good comp. Boy, man, what a huge comeback in Game 3 of that series to take 2 out of 3 from LSU when they really had to have it. Like A&M will get into the postseason. They can pretty much clinch that by winning a series next weekend, because they'll get to whatever number they need to get to in the last weekend of the season, because they're playing Missouri and they'll beat Missouri 3 times.
Yeah.
Missouri now 0-24 in league play. They'll beat Missouri 3 times, and that'll get you the win total. And let me tell you something. I've said it for weeks now. If they get into the postseason, they will ruin someone's season.
Yeah. Just hope it ain't ours.
Yeah. Those people in Austin better hope that they don't take the cinema of Slosh Nagel against A&M and put them in that series, because, man, I'm telling you, they're coming out of whatever regional they get into.
Yeah. Vandy right now, too. I think they only have 6 losses at home.
Well, and 5 losses. 5
losses.
5 losses at home. 3 of them were to you boys.
That's crazy.
Same thing can be said about Auburn. Auburn is in a good position to get up and host a regional, get in that top 8 by the time the season's over. It's looking very SEC heavy in the top 8 by the time we're done. No surprise there. SEC, ACC by the end of it.
For sure.
It's not Omaha or bust. It's championship or bust.
Yeah, this is for real. Watching them this weekend, the number 1 team in the country had nothing for this team. And again, it's baseball, so some days are better than others. Texas hung their hat on pitching, and our bats were so good. And to be honest with you, there are moments where we could have opened it up and we missed.
Our offense is so good that they do things. They cause pitching staffs to do things that they don't do. It's not always necessarily that we're just hitting line drives all over the yard. That's fun. But this weekend you saw they walked a ton of people.
Choicey.
Texas walked a ton of people. They hit a ton of people. That's just out of fear for going in and going to battle over and over and over. You're scared to keep coming after guys.
Yeah.
That's the threat of this offense is going to cause good pitching staffs to all of a sudden your walks are inflated.
LSU on the road this weekend finishes up with Tennessee. Excited to see
What's up, guys? This is Willie Ray from the We'll See You Later podcast. We're excited to say, as always, that this episode is brought to you by our friends at Liberton Home Repairs. Liberton Home Repairs right here in Little Rock. Quality home repair service that you can trust. Give them a call at 405-600-8363. That's 405-600-8363 for Liberton Home Repairs. Be sure and tell them that the guys over at the We'll See You Later podcast sent you.
Happens. Moving to the next quick topic. They deserve a lot more than that, but we are running out of some time. There's a new number 1 in softball, Will.
Man, Courtney Deifel got these chicks balling.
Arkansas Razorbacks are number 1 in softball.
Yeah, it's a good summer up in Fayetteville. Props to Bree Ellis. She's a monster. And such a humble kid too. She actually got gifted a golden ticket, which is, I think they said there are 12 that are going to be given out throughout softball season. Basically, the amateur players that receive these 12 golden tickets are basically being told that they're being drafted to one of 4 teams for the first ever season of the professional women's softball league.
That's awesome.
So she was gifted a golden ticket after the game this past weekend and just overcome with emotion. It was awesome to see.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't hopped on the wagon, they are just that. They are a wagon. Ranking-wise, we've never seen it.
Never.
Arkansas has never been ranked number 1, and there's a 4-time national champion out there in Oklahoma, and they just pretty much have taken up residence at number 1.
Yeah.
So the fact that you knocked them off, we may have 2 natties by the end of it. whereas the boys and the girls bring home the trophy. But it's easy to root for because who doesn't love Coach Deifel?
Yeah.
I mean, she recruits well. She carries herself like a first class individual, and she knows ball. She gets them to play well. She played for the winningest college softball coach of all time at California, and you can tell just a lot of that's rubbed off on her. She's a winner. We gotta keep her at all costs.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get that double natty. Got a quick. So Willie Portals, back to you live. Not a basketball portal move, a football portal move. Just updated today.
They don't like when you do that anymore.
What has happened, Will?
Jaylen Brown, a wide receiver from Florida State.
Went to LSU first.
Yeah, here's hoping he's got his stuff together because I think there was some off the field stuff. I will say Arkansas needs to score about 40 points a game because, I mean, they've got it seems like 25 receivers on the roster at this point. Like, Bobby Petrino's going out and getting wide receivers. I don't know if we're going to be able to stop anybody, but we're going to have people running up and down the field.
He's trying to get Bobby as many people as he can.
Yeah, Bobby's trying to go 4 and 5 wide on every play.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I wouldn't be against it. It opens up running lanes.
Right.
But he's definitely got some bodies in that receiver room. Jaylen Brown, a former top 100 recruit in his recruiting class. So the kid's got skill. I think he's just had some off the field issues. Hopefully we've gotten all that taken care of and you can just come out here and ball.
I don't have a would you rather.
Okay. That's a switch.
But I did see a question that was online that I think is interesting.
Are you about to do the stupid ass gorilla question?
Yeah. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I've heard.
So Will, I want to hear your take because everybody's on it. One gorilla versus 100 men, silverback gorilla.
I think the most important part of this question, and it determines where I go. Can I pick?
See, I don't know if there's
100.
guidelines. I would.
If I can hand pick the 100, the gorilla's going down. If I can hand pick the 100, because we live on the same planet as guys like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
We live on the same planet as guys like Mark Henry or a Trent Williams or Bones Jones. Like, not all men are created equal.
Yeah.
If I can put together now, let me be clear. If I can put together a team of 100, it does not include me. I want no smoke. I'll put a team together of 100 monsters. And if it's just me and like I can't pick the dudes and it's just 100 me and you.
Yeah, we're screwed.
Yeah, he's going to twist my head off and drink me like a shot. Like that. But if I can pick the dudes, he's going down.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Now, some of y'all are going to die. The first ones to go run up there, you're going to die. You're going to die. But at
the thing is, you've got to have 100 dudes on the same page. Like, you got to. Because whenever that thing come in the room, panic and fear is going to set in.
But make no mistake, I'm on the bitch list. I am not running up. No. See, that's the thing. You've had some pretty bad takes when it comes to like fighting animals on this podcast.
No.
You've had some pretty bad takes.
That's a lie.
So I was wondering if you're okay with fighting a bunch of lions that are the size of a hamster. You don't want none of a gorilla.
I do not even want to come close to a gorilla.
Oh, but you redeemed yourself here. So
if you can pick it, dude, I'm just imagining like some D linemen really like surrounding this guy to talk about him. And I'm thinking like a whoever has like the best knockout punch, punching him in the face. And then you've got some scrapper, like a John Jones who's got his leg in some vice grip. Someone squeezing the hell out of his testicles, ripping him on the ground.
There has to be a plan where it's I'm going high, you go low. Kind of like if you're wrestling an alligator, where it's like it has to be something to that effect.
Yeah, and I think a Brock Lesnar, once he gets to your neck,
ball game.
It should be over.
Ball game.
If Brock can get his back while everybody's...
If it's 100 average dudes, you're all dead. If I can set the lineup, you are going down. They'll turn you into a meme. It'll be that Harambe stuff all over again. R.I.P. Sheba or whatever the hell your name is. Yeah, R.I.P. Coco. There we go. Like, whatever.
It's over.
Yeah.
100 bad A dudes scratching eyes, squeezing balls, ripping stuff on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
We're scrappy.
Nobody said anything about rules.
Right. Like, I'm thinking like everything you can. I don't think he can stop everybody, but you got to have 100 dudes on the same
Let's
page.
be clear. Some of y'all going to die.
Yeah, people are going to die, but I think it could happen.
I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the We'll See You Later podcast. Remember, giveaway.
What do they got to do again?
They got to hit the like button. They got to go subscribe to the YouTube page, and they got to comment on this video 50.
Comment 50.
Comment 50. I don't care if it's the number or the word. Comment 50. Subscribe, like, comment, and we will draw at random next week. And the winner will either, if you're close enough, come up to Happy's and pick it up, or we'll have it shipped to you.
We will ship it to you.
Thanks to our buddies at Foul Play Golf for making that possible.
Absolutely. You guys are awesome. Garrett's amazing.
This has been episode 50 of the We'll See You Later podcast. Congratulations again.
Thank
Jeremy.
you, sir. Congrats
Well,
to you, too.
I'll see you at the next 50. I feel like, just throwing it out there, when we get to the 100th episode,
Yeah.
we need to go back to what they did when we were kids and you got to the 100th day of school when everybody dressed up like old men and old women.
Okay.
That'd be kind of funny.
We'll do it.
I wouldn't have to do anything. I already, like, I've seen Jeremy dress when he dresses up. He's got suspenders and all sorts of shit. He
That's
already
true.
looks like an old man.
That's true.
So we will see you guys next week for episode 51. Tune in this weekend for Arkansas versus LSU on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And 3 things to live by before you guys get out of here. Number 1, don't piss into the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, hogs by a million. And number 3, some say it's the most important. Never, ever, ever trust a fart.
Yeah.
Till next time, guys. We'll see you later.
We'll see you later.